All right, we are back with another video on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Transdimensional Adventures. In the previous one, we talked about vehicle control rules, basically, when you're going to make those piloting skill rolls, so to speak, for using your vehicle in a Turtles or pretty much any Palladium game. Well, now we're going to specifically dive into vehicle combat. Some things are probably going to overlap from the previous video, and some things are going to be brand new. So let's check out which ones are which right now.
Yeah, the last video was getting to combat. Either
or not
getting to
successfully
combat
getting
or
out
getting
of it.
away from combat.
Yeah,
depending on if you want to fight or not. But now when you are close enough to fight, this is what happens.
Okay, vehicle combat. Don't get carried away with complex simulations or top speeds.
Hey, you're already there, man. You're in combat. There's no point. Relative speed is very low at this point because you're both close and probably going about the same speed.
I don't know if this part was in the original Galaxy Guide or if this is something Sean added here. If it was in the original one, awesome. If Sean added it, awesome. Because I like this next sentence too. Avoid the trap of overcalculating the exact number of seconds required for a car going 193 miles per hour to catch up with a car going 187 miles per hour. Thank you. Yes. I don't want to do those math story problems where a train reaches a station at 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't.
Nobody wants to go to Chicago and LA. Shut up.
Right? In the real world, things are never that simple. Vehicles have to swerve and weave. Acceleration is never constant, and at high speeds, pilots make mistakes constantly. Just read an article about a police chase. Usually the police car is faster than the criminals, but even so, the chase goes on for dozens of miles. Yeah, I mean, he's right. He's definitely right about the last part. I'm just wondering the faster. Yeah, a lot of times they are.
Yeah, because street legal vehicles have governors on them and police vehicles don't. But, you know, if he's a professional or he knows he's going to be running from the police, it's easy enough to fix up your car to where it'll go faster than your average police car.
And police usually aren't suicidal and don't want to do the things that might,
Yeah. That's actually fair. A lot of times the pursuer is not as invested in catching you as you are in getting away. So the guy who wants to get away is going to take more risk because if he gets caught, he goes to jail forever, or, death may be better for the guy running away. I don't know.
I'm still going to say I love Arkansas police and their mentality on pit maneuvers. They just don't give an F. They could be a crowded street, pedestrians walking across it, old granny going, cars, bam, they're still going to pit that guy and hope it doesn't hit the rest. Love it. Oh, here we go. Use police cars faster. Okay, keep it simple. If the pursuer is faster, then they'll catch up. If the leader is going faster than the pursuer, then they'll leave them in the dust. There should be only 3 possible conditions. The vehicles are jockeying for position. One vehicle is behind the other in firing range. The vehicles are too far away from each other for combat. Seems simple enough to me. Control rolls are often required in vehicle combat. With a failure, the pilot loses control. They roll again at the same penalty to regain control, but lose 1d4 times 10% speed and 1d4 actions while fighting to regain control. Oh, we never did get that question answered. Is a control roll an action? I still say it is. Do you still say it isn't?
Let me read this again. Control rolls are often required in vehicle combat. With a failure, the pilot loses control. They roll again at the same penalty to regain control, but they lose. It's still unclear. I am of the mind that control rolls are like auto dodges where it just happens. And the success or failure is the point, not burning an action, especially in the new TMNT where you get 2. Right? This, I understand the driver has to concentrate on driving. I get it. But when you try a maneuver, that's one action, right? You dodge an attack, that's another action. Well, there you go. That's what you did, But you could be asked to do up to what? 2 or 3 control rolls in a round?
No, I think it's just 1 round.
I don't know, man. Could be up to 2, and then you get to do nothing else?
Well,
I don't know.
actually, according to this, I haven't read it yet, but if this bold indicator is there, it's
Yeah,
one maneuver per round.
per round, yeah.
So we'll
So
see.
you got 1 maneuver and 1 dodge, and that's your actions, right?
I mean, yeah. Like I said, I just of the mindset, and maybe again we'll get clarity from Sean next week about this. My mindset is if you have to focus on something, if it takes your time, read sensory equipment is an action. It's because you have to focus on that. Gather the information, process it. I kind of feel the same way for driving, but that's just my take.
Yeah. I have the other way because I'm not reading sensors constantly, but I'm controlling the car constantly. So I'm already doing it. So why would it cost an extra action when I'm doing it differently in 1 second?
To maintain it. Same way.
See,
Same way it costs an action in like Pathfinder or whatever to raise a shield, even though you're just holding it up the entire time. The act of you holding it up takes one.
Yeah,
of the
I would
actions.
argue that one too. That seems stupid. If you have a shield, it's protecting you. If you put it on the ground, it's not. There you go.
All right. Oh, actually, I need to finish this up. Let's see. Regain control, but you lose 1d4 times 10% speed and 1d4 actions while fighting to regain control. A second failure, you crash.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Fine.
Vehicle combat rounds. 1 maneuver per round. The most important difference in vehicle combat is that only 1 vehicle maneuver can be taken per round. After initiative is determined, on the turn, each vehicle's pilot may take an action as usual. They perform their maneuver for the round, immediately perform all rolls to resolve it. Okay. So basically you're declaring your action, so to speak, and then doing everything on your turn in the round, in the initiative order. During the round, characters allowed to attack may use their actions to do so. Those who can't may use their actions to do other things like work computers, use psychic powers, etc. Otherwise, the round system is unchanged. The idea is to get the combatants in close quarters and let them slug it out until somebody goes down. Vehicle strikes. Calling targets. A vehicle is several targets in one package. So every strike on a vehicle must be called. Interesting. Okay. The attacker has to specify what he is attacking: the crew compartment, a turret, vehicle's body, an engine, fuel tank, or tire, etc. You can pick your own. You're trying to hit the headlight. I don't know why, but that's what you're doing. Smaller targets
may be harder to hit. So a headlight would be a smaller target, harder to hit.
And that'd be the GM's call.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, I don't think this means that all attacks are called shots. Only the smaller targets that are harder to hit could be considered a called shot.
It says every strike on a vehicle must be called.
Yeah, but it's in quotes. It's not a rule.
Quotes doesn't stop that from being a rule.
It does, because it means it's not the called shot rule. So I don't believe that you need the 13 or higher or whatever it is to hit just any part of a vehicle, because it's making you call your shot, so it's not penalizing you.
I mean, if you're right, that would be an idiosyncrasy of Sean, but I can tell you that in just grammar, putting that in quotes does not mean that it's optional or anything. It means that it's focused.
Yeah, but it's not the rule. It's also not, shouldn't it be capitalized too if it was a main rule or something like that?
I don't know. Has Sean been doing that consistently?
I don't know if Sean's been doing that. I haven't been reading all this stuff.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention. But so some people do that. Some people do all things that are game terms with a capital letter. It's not something I like personally, but it is a methodology that a lot of people do for clarity, and I get that it's for clarity. I haven't been paying attention to see if Sean does that. Maybe I should. I mean, so speed class down here, that's a game term. Speed class.
Yeah, and he capitalized it.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's been doing that throughout. I actually haven't been paying much attention to that, so maybe I will from now on. But let's look at ramming in quotes. So maybe that means ramming's optional. Ramming or striking one vehicle with another always attacks the vehicle itself. Area effect weapons like explosives and fire can attack the vehicle, the turret, the occupants, etc. Okay. So.
Okay, striking one vehicle with another always attacks the vehicle itself. Okay,
Yeah,
so you,
so
you
if I'm mashing my vehicle into yours, it's going to do damage to your vehicle.
yeah, I can't aim for someone inside. I get it.
Now,
But that also causes a problem with the called shot, with the calling targets. Every strike on a vehicle must be called to a specific point: turret, body, engine. I would have written it like it must attack the vehicle's body.
okay, I think I know where the disconnect is now, and I will say in your defense that it wasn't fully clear on this, and I missed it at first too. But now that I'm reading it, I completely get this. This calling
Okay.
shot,
Yeah.
this isn't ramming. This isn't a vehicle against vehicle. This is you shooting it.
Yeah.
So, whether I agree or not, I get it. So if you're shooting with an M16, you have to specify what you're trying to hit. So it's a called shot to the turret. It's a called shot to the vehicle's body. Although
Sure.
I personally probably wouldn't say to the vehicle's body that has to be a called shot, because that's like main body MDC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where everything hits that automatically unless you call it.
But that would have to be a house rule at this point.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You're right. That would have to be house. But that's how I would see that. Now, anything else like the engine, the crew compartment, so on and so forth, that would have to be called.
Yeah. And ramming, I would say have to be the vehicle body.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Now, what I might add into the ramming, and I wouldn't necessarily think there's a house rule, I just think it makes sense, but maybe it is a house rule, is when you hit, unless it's a perfect police pit maneuver where you just kind of spin the guy out, you're hitting, right?
Yeah.
That would be a crash like we talked about in the previous video. 1d6 damage times 10 miles per hour, whatever.
Well, we've gotten vehicle strikes. We haven't gotten to vehicle damage yet. So
Yeah,
maybe it actually talks about that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, relative speed penalty. It's harder to hit a vehicle traveling at high rates of speed relative to its attacker. If the attacker is currently moving at a slower speed than the defender, subtract current speed class from the target speed class. So the attacker's -1 to strike for each speed class of difference.
Okay, that makes sense. You know, if I'm going speed class 9 and you're going speed class 6 and you try to attack me, you're going to be at a -3 because your window of opportunity is that much smaller.
So
So you have to be
question
much
for
more
you.
precise.
I
Sorry?
know we haven't got to it necessarily yet. Maybe we will. What is the roll to strike a vehicle on vehicle? Now, we know in Palladium, a 5 or higher hits.
Yeah.
We got it. How do you give somebody, does somebody with a higher control roll get a bonus to his strike? I mean, it doesn't say that so far. Is it just
No.
randomly, I just continue to roll 5? Well, yeah, 5s to hit. Now I'd have to roll a 6 because I'd have -1 to my roll. So I'd roll a 6, I'd be dropped down to a 5, right? Because the speed class difference? Seems
I
like
would so far, yeah.
okay.
I mean, we haven't gotten to the attack roll yet. Hopefully it will, because this is combat.
Right.
So we should have an attack roll clarification.
So we read that. So vehicle dodges. Surface vehicles have no bonus to dodge against ranged attacks. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hard to hit vehicle traveling. Okay, I got to do this again. This is just for my own clarity's sake. This relative speed penalty is not about you mashing into somebody. This is about you hanging out your window and shooting an M16 at somebody who's moving faster than you. This is about you pulling out that Glock 17 or whatever's in the book.
Or you using a turret on top of your vehicle to shoot another vehicle.
Yep. So this is only ramming has to do with mashing vehicle into vehicle.
Right.
Because I keep visualizing as I'm reading this that we're talking vehicles crushing into each other.
Oh, well, no one else was.
Okay, that's fair. Then I'm saying it for my own clarity then.
Okay, good.
We're talking like, if you're throwing a brick at somebody.
Sure.
Vehicle dodges. Surface vehicles have no bonus to dodge against ranged attacks. They can't react like a person and can't stop on a dime. They generally travel in straight lines or on fairly smooth surface.
Fair.
I think that's supposed to be on, not or. I might be wrong. However, pilots can dodge when another vehicle rolls to strike them with a maneuver. A ram side sweeps. Okay. And gain a bonus equal to the vehicle's handling. Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
By the way, handling is not hard. We just didn't cover it. That's why I said, oh, Jesus. What page is this? 135. Just show you real quickly. Attribute max speed, landcraft, watercraft. You know what? Handling is going to be in handling improvement cost. And then speed and handling notes. It's all in this stuff here that we didn't cover, and I intentionally
it's
didn't
per
cover.
vehicle. We're not going to go over all the vehicles right now, but
Well,
if you have a sports car, your handling is better than if you
yes.
have a Subaru. Like that's what's going to happen.
I didn't cover it because it's under vehicle construction rules, not vehicle
Yeah,
combat rules.
but it's not hard to wrap your brain around.
Right.
If you have a high performance vehicle, if you have a Bugatti, you're going to be able to take corners better than if you're in a Toyota hatchback. Right.
And I just want to make sure you guys knew that it did exist. We're just not covering it. So surface vehicles maneuvers. Surface vehicles, landcraft and watercraft are surface vehicles. Okay.
Sure.
The ram. Ramming is an attack where one vehicle attempts to bash into the rear of another. The speed of the attacking vehicle must not exceed the speed of the vehicle is attacking by more than 15 miles per hour. The attacker makes a strike roll with a handling bonus, so that's where that handling will come in.
Mm-hmm.
A failed strike means the maneuver is unsuccessful or incomplete and can be tried again next round. That's just like your failed pit maneuver if you're a cop. You can try again. If the attacker succeeds and the defender fails to dodge, either by rolling lower or by not dodging at all, then there's a collision dealing the following damage. Ramming damage varies with the size of the attacking vehicle. So the attacker is what matters for the ram. So if I'm a tank, I do 1d12 times 10 damage. And let's see, you're most likely going to be in a car. Where's that right here?
Yeah.
So
1d6.
1d6 times 10 damage.
Yeah.
Attacker damage. The attacking vehicle also suffers damage, but only 1/3 of what it inflicts on its target. If the attacking vehicle has a ram prow, it takes no damage because it meant to do that.
Yeah.
Speeds.
And the 1/3 damage to the attacking vehicle, that's actually common throughout a lot of Palladium. If you look at Heroes Unlimited, if you're doing a flying body block at Mach 1 because you have sonic speed, you're going to do this much damage per mile an hour, and then you're going to take 1/3 of that damage yourself.
Okay. Good to note. I like consistency like that. Speeds of 15 miles per hour or greater above the defending vehicle constitutes a crash. Use the crash damage rules to determine the damage to both vehicles. Likewise, head-on collision and ramming stationary objects at speed over 15 miles per hour constitutes a normal crash damaging all parties. Now, I think that there needs to be a little bit of clarity added to this. I know he tried it already earlier, but I think it should be in this paragraph as well, and that's this. 15 miles an hour greater than the person you're mashing into, not just 15 miles an hour total.
No.
So if the person you're mashing into is going 60, you can go up to 75.
Yeah.
And again,
go ahead. It's the reason that parking lot crashes don't end in explosions.
Right. It's also why pit maneuvers aren't just like the cop just gunning like that. Because, that would be a crash and not a let's bump him, make him spin out while I keep going straight. Control rolls. After a successful ram, both vehicles must make a control roll. The attacker at a -25 and the defender at a -40. The side swipe. Hey, that was a transformer. When vehicles are neck and neck, they can shove each other into an adjacent obstacle off a road onto a ramp. Come on, the best is off a bridge. Oh, no, best is into the pile of boxes. This maneuver works exactly like a ram, except that if successful, the damage is halved, but the defender's path is diverted by the attacker. Oh. Control rolls, same thing, -25 and 40. The cutoff. The attacker pulls in front of the defender, cutting off his path and forcing him to either crash or swerve to evade. This maneuver works exactly like a ram, except if the attacker succeeds and the defender fails to dodge. By rolling lower, there is a crash. Use the standard crash damage rules. Let me read that again. It kind of this maneuver.
Well, no,
exactly like
it's pretty. You cut off. You get in front of the guy you want to stop, and he either dodges you or crashes.
Yeah, I just read that without actually having it enter my noodles, so that's why I wanted to go back. It's one of those things that I know the words I said. I didn't get the. Okay. The block. This happens when the attacker wants to keep the defender in some position. A good example is where two cars are neck and neck. The right-hand car sees an oncoming truck in the left lane and decides to force his opponent to stay in that lane. This maneuver can keep an opponent from passing as well. The attacker rolls a successful strike, and if the defender does not try to dodge or fails to dodge, the defender is stuck in that lane until next round. Neither a sudden brake or a drag race is good against a block. I don't know what those two terms are yet. Executing a block may require high speeds and quick maneuvering, like switching lanes, swerving, whatever. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to block somebody there and there's a big truck coming at them.
Yeah. Keep him there. So, he can say hi to the truck. Got it.
Okay, the sudden brake. When two vehicles are side by side, one of them can attempt to get behind the other by hitting the brakes. Whether or not the braking vehicle actually pulls behind depends on an initiative roll. Both cars roll a d20, high roll wins. However, the braking car reduces its speed by half for one round. An unsuccessful sudden brake means the opposing vehicle is still side by side. He knew you're going to brake. He saw your hand on the emergency brake, thought you could be tricky on that, and he went with you. Warning. I don't know, I feel like that should be in like bold red letters. Warning!
Yeah, it really should.
A sudden brake with a vehicle immediately behind your own will likely cause a collision. Yeah? What happens?
Sense. Yeah.
Control rolls. Both vehicles roll at -15 penalty. Yeah, I mean, you might want to be a little bit aware of your surroundings. If you decide, I'm going to slam on the brakes, but you're on a highway and you've got people behind you. Oh.
Well, then they should have rethought their lives.
This maneuver, okay, a bootleg turn. This maneuver lets a vehicle completely change direction. The pilot turns sharply, slams on the brakes, and fishtails his vehicle into facing the opposite direction, losing all speed. Vehicle cannot dodge in the round that makes a bootleg turn. Or lets vehicle completely change the direction of pilot turn. Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, that's actually pretty awesome. You do that. I mean, it's hard to pull off. It's -50%, but if you do it, now you're going the other way, and that guy either has to slow down and turn while you're getting away or has to try the same maneuver.
Yeah, either way, there's going to be part of that round where he's going full speed the wrong direction now. Bye.
Yeah, the drag race. Boom, boom, boom. When two vehicles are neck and neck and trying to pull ahead of each other, that's a drag race. The same thing happens when one car is behind another and both decide to speed up. A lot depends on the speed class of the vehicle. The higher, the better. However, there's a lot more to it than engine performance. A pilot's skill and reflexes, as well as raw luck, are just as important. Rolls for drag racing are made on d20s. There are two modifiers. First, each pilot adds the speed class and handling of the vehicle. Second, they add the you add physical prowess bonus. Okay. I don't drive professionally, so I don't know if that makes sense or not. Kind of seems to, but got to have control of the vehicle, I guess. If the vehicles were neck and neck and then the winner will be way out in front. When one vehicle is trying to overtake another, then winning means catching up and losing means falling way behind. In case of a tie, the vehicles maintain their current positions. A natural 20 is perfect luck, either leaving the pursuer in the dust or coming up neck and neck with the fleeing prey. Control rolls. Both vehicles roll for exceeding cruising speed if the path or conditions aren't safe for those speeds. Apply the appropriate penalty to the roll as well. And there you go. The last video is going to be aerospace combat. We'll knock that out here in just a moment. Team Dog stepped away, so I don't know if he started anything here. But that's general combat. Once again, does it include literally everything you can try to do? No. But it gives you that framework of so many things that you're apt to try. It definitely hits that Pareto, that 80% solution. And from there, you can make judgment calls based on how you see the situation. You're the game master. Do that. So, did you star anything?
I did. No.
Oh.
Well, there was one here that I thought was funny. Are there road rage modifiers? No. The game thinks you're going to keep your cool as much as possible. So, no. But hey, you know what? There are bystanders on a highway, right? You might piss one of them off. You're in the wrong state. They have a shotgun rack in their pickup, and they decide that they want to have words with you. Maybe it's a guy and his redneck wife, and they decide that what, you shouldn't have cut me off just then. That'd be fun. Yeah, this one here, Bio Kiddo, I agree. I heard it. I had to go to the bathroom and I heard the physical prowess thing. Drag race rule has me upset. D20 for whatever reason, no skill bonus, but physical prowess. Why is this the only different thing? I don't understand why this has to be different either.
I agree. I like consistency, so I think everything
Exactly.
should
I mean,
be.
if there's there wasn't a clear reason why this was so different in functionality than everything else.
Yeah. Maybe because the idea for the drag racing isn't just your ability to drive. So let's say you have a driving skill of 80% and mine's 30%, since you're theoretically just going straight. I don't know, but
Yeah,
but as
but
somebody who used to, I don't anymore, so maybe I'm wrong now, but I used to watch drag races as a kid, and you could tell the good drivers versus the bad drivers. So I don't know.
maybe.
But then again, I'm considering drag racing as the sport where that takeoff is so important. You push too hard and you just spin out. You don't push hard enough, you don't get it, like, so I don't know. The other thing I will mention here is apparently I was also in the speed class chart. You kept looking at the speed attribute column, not the miles per hour column. Okay. I mean, not a big deal, but okay. For clarity out there for people when I was doing that, probably in the last video. But there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I like consistency. I think it should have stayed with
Percentile control rules.
yeah.
Because, everything else, there's an argument to be made that, driving itself should be modified by physical prowess if it's described as hand-eye coordination, because that's what driving is.
Yeah. Yeah, but to be fair, and this is not a knock on Palladium, it's a game, and every game has its core set of rules. One of the things, and I won't call this a frustration, but one of the things I always found odd was that IQ gives you a bonus, nothing else does. I know some of the dumbest people in the world that they are really good at certain skills because they're either really strong or really dexterous or whatever. But I've never really argued that. That's just the way the Palladium system is built. And I can see the argument for why IQ should add to a lot of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those. Maybe that's also in the original. Remember, I didn't have this book as the original, so maybe that's true too. But what are your thoughts out there? Let's put this on the screen. There we go. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you like this? This, by the way, to me, these combat rules made much more sense than the driving rules. Again, I'll just go back to, I think the penalties for the driving, the control rules are a bit excessive, but that's just my personal take. Maybe your experience is different and I'm out of my mind. That could very well be. I thought the combat rules generally made sense. And I didn't have too much heartburn with these, and I think they're clean. I think they're generally appropriate for the game, and as I will always say, they give you that framework that Palladium likes to give you for you to make the own decisions at your table when your players try to do weird stuff like, I'm going to, hey, I need somebody from the back seat to hold my legs down because I'm going to lean my entire body out the window, and I'm going to shoot with my it was an M4 carbine here. while I'm laying out almost prone, something like that. It's like, where's the rules for all that? I don't know, but you know what? You're gonna be like -6 to fight. That's just gonna be wild, right? I don't even care. That's wild, and because they're going faster than you by 2 speed classes, it's gonna be -2 on top of that. So good luck, something like that. It gives you the ability to do that. So other than that, yeah, look forward to talking about aerospace combat in the next video. Please like, subscribe, and share.